I'm here to do a re-unboxing video. My friend Nathyn Brandon Masters, where'd that accent come from? Nathyn Brandon Masters of TIMECODEMECHANICS. He sent this to me. I actually won it in a little contest he ran. And it was fun because he's already done an unboxing video of this very thing. We're going to find out what it is. I'm going to do a re-unboxing. Actually, I do know what this is, but I'm not giving it away. There. The MG Cool. It's an action camera. Let's get a close-up of that. All right. So this is the MG Cool action camera. Look at that. Badoink. And it looks like it comes in a little waterproof case. Got a bunch of fingerprints on it. And let's see, how's this open? There we go. Very small little camera. It's incredibly light. Doesn't look like it has any mounting hardware. So there is some mounting ability on the case. I may have to develop something. But I think what I'm going to use this for is YouTube videos where I want to have the camera get up close on the work that I'm doing. Either that, or I'll use it for live feeds of the various things that I'm making. But I think it'll be a very useful little camera. It's got a really, really wide fisheye lens on it. So that's not going to be that useful for some of the things I want to do, but I think for maker stuff, for DIY stuff, I think it'll be useful. So I'm going to do some testing, see how it comes out, see what the picture quality is like, see what else is in here. Oh my goodness, there's all kinds of stuff. Looks like spare battery, more mounting hardware, little charging cable. Ha! This is what I'm looking for. This has a sticker on the bottom. We'll see if I use that. But the main thing, the thing I care about, is the 1/4-20 thread, so that I can hook this up, hang it from something. Most likely from my dolly jib or any of the other little DIY things that I've created in order to hold cameras, little camera mounting things that I've done. It is a spare battery. There is the other battery. So, got that. And does this have, I don't see, oh, there is a card slot. So, card. Well, looks like I'm going to have to get a card for it. Looks like a micro SD or something like that. I don't know. This is my first time with an action camera, so I'm excited to play around with it. See what all this stuff is. This has no mounting screw. That looks like it would be useful for something. Yeah, I'll get a card, probably head to Fred Meyer or whatever, get something to stick in that, and then I'll capture some footage outdoors and we'll see how good it looks.
Just to keep me sane, my world is finally
stoked on the fact that this camera doesn't have any kind of mounting bracket. And I don't love the plastic case that it comes with. So I'm just going to make a really quick mounting bracket. And I think the best way for me to do that is to really just grip it all the way around the outside edge. I'm just going to do something super simple and take a little scrap piece of plywood with just enough around it to make a ring. Just going to trace around with a pencil and cut it out really tight, and I'll create some kind of something or other that will hold it in there secure. But for now, I'm going to just build it with enough extra room for this little bit of wood to be attached on here. Probably good. So I'll attach this to the bottom. That'll be about there. And then I'll just take this little threaded insert and put that into the wood, glue this all together, and in just a couple minutes I'll have something that works. And then I'll probably have a little bit of elastic, or maybe I'll create a cam. I'll do something that just makes sure that this is fairly secure in there. It doesn't have to be very secure. This thing's super light, which is nice. This is mainly so I can put it on the end of a selfie stick, or put it onto my camera dolly jib, or whatever. But just something to make this a little bit easier for me to use. Okay, so I've gotten a chance to play around with the little camera, and of course I've built myself a little jig so I can film YouTube videos. I just took a really cheap dollar store selfie stick and I added a counterweight to the bottom with some epoxy and a little bit of hydrostone, and I can kind of position it. Of course the camera comes out really easily in my little frame. The main thing that I like about this is that I can get this camera into small places, film among puppets, the kinds of things that I like doing. It's a pretty fun camera. One thing I found really hilarious is this. Let's see if we can get it to happen, and see if I can get it to happen on camera like it happened to me. Bing! It shot the little micro SD card at me at just tremendous speed. That's something, if you buy this camera, just know that this tiny little micro SD may come flying at you at some point. quality at night, which was the main reason that I wanted this camera to try it out, is not very good. It's very smeary and jagged around the edges. It's very grainy. It doesn't have a lot of detail, and it feels like there's a little bit of flicker to it as well. That's at the 1080p at 30 frames a second. Maybe it's better in full bright daylight. I actually found the camera had a lot of trouble dealing with bright daylight, as you could see in some of my footage, that when you look at the sky, everything adjusts and it just, you know, it overexposes, and then when you look down, everything looks too dark. It's not a particularly lovely image at the best of times. The other thing that I found is that the shake, it doesn't have any motion stabilization. It claims to, but in this version of the firmware, there is no motion stabilization that I could find. So it really shows every single footstep, and it does not move very smoothly. You'd have to have some kind of rig to really smooth things out. Another thing that I was really not particularly fond of was the really extreme fisheye effect. Even with their so-called shark eye, the shark eye doesn't change it very much. You could change it between 4 settings, and most of the footage that I shot is in narrow, the FOV narrow, and it doesn't really change that much. You still see an incredible amount of distortion. The really terrible audio quality on this camera. The audio quality is just the worst I've ever heard on any camera ever. It may be this individual model. Maybe it has just a bad mic on it, bad pickup. And take. But I can't think of a camera I've ever seen that had worse audio quality. And there's no way to plug in an external microphone, so you're stuck with it. In most of my use, I'll probably use my Zoom H2 to record the audio. It's just an extra step that I don't love, you know. Now, all that stuff is offset by the fact that this is not an expensive camera. You can get it on Amazon right now for about 48 bucks. It varies between that, and I think the most expensive you can find it is about 80. I think I'll figure out uses for it, and I certainly appreciate the fact that Nathyn Brendan Masters sent this to me. I really appreciate that. Thanks a lot, buddy. It's just not a great camera all around. But like I said, I will figure out a use for it. I'm sure I can make it work for something. Anyway, that's my review. This isn't really normally a review channel, but I got this piece of equipment that I really wanted to check out. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it was informative. Click the like, subscribe, click the little bell, all the silly things that come along with YouTube. Thanks very much. Asta. That's Nathyn's line.